What's up, everybody? It's Heartless here. I'm bringing to you a brand new speedrun tutorial for the new Game Plus category for one of my favorite games of all time, Akiba's Trip. So before we get started with the tutorial, I'd like to go through how the speedrun leaderboard works and the rules for each of the categories. So new game is obviously you start with a new game, new save file, beat the game as fast as possible off of a brand new save file. New Game Plus is beating it off of an already beaten save file. So once you have beaten the game, you get clear data. If you load that clear data, you will start in the New Game Plus. So all of your armor, all of your weapons, all of your previous stats will carry over into this next play. All endings is beating the game off of a new save file and getting all 6 endings. So this includes the sister ending, the normal ending, and then all 4 romance endings. This includes Shizuku's route, Rin's route, Toko's route, and Shion's route. And then all endings New Game Plus is obviously beating the game off of one of those clear data save files and getting all endings as fast as possible. Then we have some miscellaneous categories. We've got the sister ending, the train run, the training arc, and then blindfolded. So today we're going to be mainly focusing on New Game Plus. The leaderboard on speedrun.com is split up into 2 separate versions. So Director's Cut is the version that we now play on. There was an update sometime in August or September that made the game slower. So there is no way to get around it. It's almost impossible to backpatch this game. So we play on Director's Cut now, and that's the main version. However, the legacy boards are still up just as just to pay tribute to what we used to do back then. So everything now is done on the Director's Cut version of the game. So this game is on Steam, and it is the preferred way to play this game. I think it's on some other places, but Steam is definitely the preferred way to play this game. Once you load the game, you'll get this Akiba's Trip menu, and this is the first part of what you have to do in order to set up your game in order to be as fast as possible. So the game is played on 60 FPS. It makes fast forwarding the game a lot faster. Things are the loading screens, everything about the game is just faster. If you go into 75, 120, 144, or 240, it crashes. The game crashes. It's very, very, very hard to play. So we do not allow submitted runs on leaderboard at any FPS other than 30 or 60. We keep 30 because 30 is the maximum that consoles are allowed to play on. That's just a console cap, and there's no getting around it. So we have specific leaderboards just for that. But the preferred way to play on PC is 60 FPS. Text is whatever you want it to be. All scrolling is just as fast as anything else. I use the Japanese voices. I find it better than the English ones. The English voice acting is pretty bad in this game. You definitely want to disable movies, and you want the max number of appearance NPC all the way down. So this right here, it's a slider bar. You want it to be all the way down, and you also want the max number of draw of NPC all the way down as well. These two, just when you're moving in the game, these two things help a lot when you're actually moving through and getting from area to area in the game. So with that out of the way, we'll get right into the game. Just click play and let's go. Okay, so when loading up the game, to get into New Game Plus, you want to go to Load Game, and then you want to go to one of your clear datas. So this is the clear data that I normally use. And then we run on easy difficulty most of the time. So the weapons and the armor that we use to build this perfect character are as follows. So you have the godlike Izayoi Oboro, and then the godlike King's Crown. So you can use any type of head armor. It doesn't matter. I just prefer the King's Crown because I like the twin tails. But this is the sword you want to use, and I'll get into why we use the sword once I start talking about strats on how we finish fights faster. And then this doesn't, you can wear any boots, you can wear anything like here. We use guide to quick change in the strip slot because it is the fastest strip animation, so that's what we use. And then we use anti-gravity primer to start off, and we switch to zombie stalker in the middle of the run, and I will show you why. And then whatever underwear you want. So the reason we only use one head armor slot is due to the NPCs attacking you. When you only have this in your armor slot, your NPCs will start attacking the head. They want to attack your armor. This helps us because the attack that we use with the sword, this sword right here, we always are attacking the head. That is the fastest and most devastating attack that we can do. So that's why we use it. So going through my other characters, sister does not matter. So for Shizuku, none of this stuff matters. The only thing that matters is you have the Izayoi Uboro, and everything that we do is at 999, just because that's the fastest. And then this doesn't matter. So the Strolling Hermit, this does not matter either, as long as it's a fast animation when walking through cutscenes, and I'll explain that a little bit more in detail once we get into it. So Rin, also nothing matters, only the Oboro. Toko, just need the Oboro. Kari, just need the Oboro. Shion, you definitely just need the Oboro. And then for Soga, that doesn't matter. Zenya doesn't matter. Pops does not matter. Kaito, you need the Oboro. Yuto does not matter. Koma, I only have Koma having the Oboro because of one of my all endings. So if you want to run all endings, that's a different entirely. But this usually does not matter. And then here we go, back to me. So that's how we start. It's pretty self-explanatory. You just want the best weapon at all times, and then you want head armor for yourself. So, okay guys, so once your save file is all set up, and building a save file for New Game Plus takes a long time, and I will explain the most efficient way possible to do that at the end of the video. But once you have your save file all set up and it looks good, you'll click OK. As soon as you click OK, your time starts. That is when the category starts. So as soon as I click OK, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to hold the circle button, and I'm going to mash the X button. So that would be the fast forward button and the confirm button for anybody using anything other than a PlayStation controller. So here we go, and I'm going to show you why we do it. So holding, and you can see on my controller that I'm going fast. So the reason we do this is because it gets through the text boxes faster than normal. So that's exactly what we're wanting when it comes to, speedrunning a game that's half a beat 'em up and half of a visual novel. So we're going to come up on our first fight here. I'm not going to cut anything. I'm just going to show you exactly what happens when we get into our first fight. So as soon as you get into the first fight, they're going to attack. So you want to try and hit these guys right here, both of those guys, at the same time for your first attack. And the attack you're using is the head attack. So you're going to use your stick, you're going to point it at your target, and then you're going to click the triangle button or the head attack button, whatever that is. And it should look something like this. So a pro tip, no matter how many times you hit Xenia right here, he will never pop. So you have to beat these 3 dudes, his 3 henchmen, before you actually are able to get into the full game. So that's fight number 1 in basic fight mechanics. Alright, so we're coming up on our first movement section of the game. We're going to get a menu right here. We want to click out of that really fast, and then we also want to click the map menu as soon as we can. So you're now able to take control of your character, but we don't actually want to move at all. We want to click our map button and teleport right here to Radio Kaiken. And the reason is because once you spawn way over there, and it's actually faster to click the map and teleport it here, because this is exactly where we want to go. So the less movement that we can do, the better, because movement in this game is slow. Teleporting is fast. So that's what we want to do. So we're going to get through the station, and that is the reason we use anti-gravity primer right there, is because we zoom so fast outwards. Okay, so coming into the second fight, we're just doing the same thing. So your NPC, your partner, you want them to always have the sword because they have the same attacks you do, and it's all random at what they use. Okay, so the thing about having the partner, you want to have them at, this is defensive mode, this is attacking mode. So you want to always have them on attacking mode. And then they will help you as much as possible, but it's completely random. So we want to be as consistent as possible with all of our fights. And that is doing the head attack and all this other stuff. Okay, so after a few cutscenes, we're going to come here into this cutscene right here. And anti-gravity primer is so fast on that. Just watch how fast your character moves. If you were using Zombie Stalker right there, you would be very, very, very slow. So as soon as you get control back of your character, you're going to want to hit the equipment menu option. So on the controller, it's the left D-pad. So you want to do that. You want to hit up on the D-pad twice. Go into your movement animations and switch to Zombie Stalker. And the reason we want to do this is because Zombie Stalker is way faster. So you're going to be moving a few seconds faster at most, or at least on each of these things, going from place to place. Okay, so you just heard that ba-ding sound. So that ba-ding sound was a route indicator or a romance trigger or whatever you want to call it. And those don't matter in the New Game Plus category because the fastest ending is the normal ending. And if you just mash through everything, you're going to get that normal ending no matter what you pick. So the first is Shizuku, and usually it's always going to be Shizuku that's your partner. Sometimes you'll go with Toko, sometimes you'll go with Shion, but mostly for the normal ending, you're going to be doing Shizuku and Toko most of the time. So once we go here, we want to run backwards up the stairs and then across UD Plus onto Main Street. So once we run to Main Street, we're running here to the other side of Main Street, and we're running forward. Okay, so once we're on Junk Street, we're immediately turning left, and we're flying down this corridor. Try not to run into anybody like I just did, but you want fast, okay? Running through there and getting to the battle arena. So here in the battle arena, I'm going to be showcasing certain strats that we like to use. The first strat is the pop. Okay, so this is called the unison strip. So as soon as your bar on this left-hand side fills up, we call that the pop. So to use it, you want to hit up on the D-pad while looking at a target. And the best time to use this is when somebody is full health. So this guy has three items of clothing on, so three sets of armor, and we want to pop him. So we're gonna look at him and we're going to hit the up button. So you'll go through this long cutscene, but to skip it, just hit the start button. It stuns everybody around you, and it's very, very, very fast. It's an insta-kill on everybody as long as you have the 999 Izoyo Oboro on both characters. So it is extremely fast. So once we do that, we're just menuing, we're going back down to Mogra, and we're getting our next mission. Alright, so once we're on Junk Street, I'm going to show you a little bit of a different strat. So this is the strip strat. So as soon as you hit somebody, you want to strip them, you're going to hold a button, and then you're going to strip them. So this is faster in certain situations because you'll see as we get further into the game, the NPCs get harder to hit. These enemies are going to start dodging you left and right. So it's more consistent to actually strip them towards the end of the game rather than try and pop them like that, even though popping them is much faster. So we're trying to take the RNG out of this game as much as possible and trade it for something that's a little bit more consistent. So the next mission we have up is what we call Nana mission or sister mission. It's a side mission, and it's the side mission tutorial. So we're going to run into her room right here. And you can see how slow Zombie Stalker is in cutscenes. We don't like that. So as soon as we get that mission, we're going to hit the start button and go over to the side missions tab here. And go into Adorable Little Sister's Request and accept that mission. Okay? So once we're back here, we're going to go to our map. And we're going to the side streets. So we have not been there. And side streets is just right behind the Junk Street spawn. So that's exactly where you want to go. So this guy right here is the shop employee that we need to get the cosplay recommendations from. All you gotta do is run up to him. You don't even have to hit any buttons. You just literally have to run up to him and he'll give you the book. So as soon as we do that, we are menuing back into Sixer's room. Do not menu back into Mogra, menu into Sister's room. Talk to Nana, and that's that. So once you complete this mission, you unlock what's called Synthesis. So this is where we're going to talk about how to upgrade your weapons and build the perfect character. So once you talk to her, you get Synthesis time, okay? So you can sell all of your stuff. As you can see, I've got stupid amount of stuff. I sold all of my stuff, and I will show you why I did that and what you're going to want to do. But you can fuse weapons and clothes, and how Synthesis works. Let's say you want to upgrade. I've got all these Crimson Deaths. I don't think I have a spare. I have this. I have the Parplay. So if you want to, let's say, upgrade a Crimson Death, you click it, and then all of these weapons right here become materials. So if you want to add it, you hit right on the D-pad or add. So once you're doing that, you can see the strength, and then each upgrade is 1,000. So each upgrade is 1,000 yen. So if you want to upgrade this a lot, you want to have quite a bit of money. But each time you beat the game, you'll get a legit Izayo Oboro. And that's why I have so many of them. Every time you beat the game, you can pick one up. And it's very, very, very fast to beat the game on easy over and over and over again. trying to get this stuff. So you can do this with not only weapons, but clothes too. And you just want any helmet to be at a decently high level, because sometimes you do get unlucky and you will get stripped. And if you get stripped of all of your clothes, you will game over and the run will be lost. So just something to think about, and how you are building your New Game Plus save file. So as soon as we exit, we're back into the game. Okay, so coming up first on our big fights list is Rin's Street Performance. So this is the first time that we'll be using items. I have an unwritten rule that I like to use an item for fights containing 6 or more people. If there's 6 or more enemies, it's beneficial to use items. So how you use items is once you get into the fight, you click down on your D-pad, and the best item to use for damage, increasing your damage, is this indie software. So the indie software can be purchased at one of the stores in the game. I'll show that off after this fight. It is expensive. It is expensive. I think it's 25,000 yen or 50,000 yen per software. So that's why I only have 25 of them. But you only need to use about 6 or 7 for the run itself. So once you use this, your attack strength increases by, I think, 30%, something like that. So now we just want to hit as fast as possible using the that's unlucky. Using the head attack as much as possible. And since I have a pop, I'm going for somebody with full health, and I'm trying to pop people. So now I'm gonna strip because this person behind me was far away. So if I would have popped him, I would have had to wait for the animation, run back, and then try to pop her. So that's a perfect example of when to use the strip strat instead of the head attack strat. Okay, moving on. So we have to go to the side streets with Katie. So to do that, we just go here. However, I would like to go to where they sell the indie software. Okay, guys, so you can get to the indie software by doing this. You need to go to the main street southeast and run all the way down. This will take a little bit, but once you get all the way down, you'll end up at a store called Media Land, which is right here. So once you enter Media Land, you can buy and go over to where they're selling the items, and the indie software is right there. Its purchase cost is 95,000, which is quite a lot. I understand it is a lot, and it is quite hard to build up that much money in order to buy it, but you realistically only need 6 or 7 because you're not rewriting over your save file once it's good. So you only need a few. Once you beat the game so many times to upgrade that Izayoi Oboro to 999 for all of your characters, you're gonna have quite a bit of money, and you'll be able to afford this indie software. Okay, guys, so if you can't afford the indie software right off the bat, if you go to the Radio Kaiken area and you come over here to Noonies, they sell something called the Can of Odin. So the Can of Odin will actually increase your attack strength as well, and it's much, much cheaper than the indie software. You can buy as many of these as you want, and they do the same. However, the indie software is probably, give or take, 5 to 10 seconds faster. So you're definitely going to be wanting to use the indie software to be as fast as possible. But the Can of Odin is a really good replacement if you do not have the money. Once you get the funds, you can definitely switch over to the indie softwares. But Can of Odins are really, really good for that. Alright, so we just started a fight. We're going to use the indie software. We're going to pop this first person, and then we're immediately going to start attacking. So you can see that guy tried to attack my head. and I was able to hit him first, so that was fantastic. We popped twice that fight, and we went extremely fast. The indie software just plows through people. Alright, so this is Xenia 1. Normally in the speedrun you want to have a pop, but I'm going to just show off the fight itself. You just want to hit him as much as possible. If you ever find yourself in a fight like this, you want to get him aggro onto Shizuku and get behind him. So then once he starts attacking Shizuku, you're able to do free damage on him. So that's the strat there. You normally never want to be without a pop when you fight bosses. Bosses are one of those things where you're always wanting pops. So there are a few boss battles where you want to pop. That one is one of them. That is a necessary pop. You also want one during the second phase of Xenia 2. I'll showcase that off later. You're going to want one for Xenia, Final Xenia as well. Xenia 3 does not get one. Xenia 3 is actually a very, very easy fight. And then you want one for phase 2 of Soga. So that's what you want. Those are the places where you want the pops the most. Any other place, it's if you have it, use it. However, you're definitely going to want to save for those 4 boss fights in particular. Everybody else, every other fight doesn't matter. They're pretty easy. So, alright, so we just accepted Battle Arena number 2. So, Battle Arena number 2, we take Shizuku, and there's a specific strat that we use to get a consistent Battle Arena 2. It's a lot more consistent than just using the head attack strat. So once we fight, we're going to use the body attack. So circle, and unfortunately she dodged, and she dodged again. But this way, we fight, and then we pop, and then we strip. So that way is a lot more consistent than doing the head attack. If you're fighting any named character, they're going to dodge a lot more than usual. So we're wanting to use something a little bit more consistent, and the body attack has been a lot more consistent than the pop method with the head attack. Okay, so I want to discuss how we get to some of these places. There are 2 places down here called Yodobashi and Akiba Park, and you'll have a couple of missions that are there. When we go into the Yodobashi area, you're going to be going to fight Xenia 3. And when you go into Akiba Park, you're going to be doing the Saving Rin mission. So we are in Radio Kaiken right now, and that's where we want to teleport in order to get into Akiba Park. So once you get into Radio Kaiken, you run here into this place, and this place is actually going to take you to Akiba Park. So that is the fastest way to get to Akiba Park. Right now it only takes you to the map because we're not quite ready for that mission yet, so it's just going to take you to the map until you've unlocked that area. To get to the Yodobashi area, we want to be in Mogra, we want to run up the stairs, and we want to run straight behind us. Yodobashi area is right here. That is the fastest way to get into Yodobashi. And again, until you unlock it, you will just get teleported straight to the map. And you unlock both these areas right after you unlock the Saving Rin mission. Okay, so let's talk about building a file. So you need five or 6, I think, godlike Izuyoi Oboros, and then 1 fairly decent headgear. So in order to do that, we need to talk to Nana, and I've already explained synthesis before. But when you defeat a boss, they drop a weapon, and these weapons range from anywhere from low like 60 to higher, like 90, to highest, like 300. Each time you defeat that boss, pick up their weapons. And especially when going through for your first time, for your first few playthroughs, you are definitely going to be wanting to pick up every weapon and you can. These weapons are going to be very nice to actually upgrade your stuff, to sell for extra money in order to upgrade your stuff. That's kind of how you're building that file. Alright, so we're going to Electric Town Plaza now, and this is going to be a fight with 4. So we're not going to be using an indie software, however we are going to be using our pop. So as soon as you can pop, use it, and then attack the closest people. So you want to attack them from the front when they're stunned, because they move at an angle like that. You see, you want to be attacking them head on or from behind, because you do more hits. If you don't do that, then they're going to move at an angle and you're going to miss. And the last thing I'm going to showcase is Xenia 2. So Xenia 2 has a few patterns. You want him to aggro onto Shizuku as quick as possible and then get behind him to attack him. He only needs 4 hits to be defeated. And that's all you need. You want him to aggro onto Shizuku as quick as possible and then go behind him to hit him. But as soon as we're up, we're going to go through a little bit of a menu, and then we're going to pop him immediately. And skip the pop, and we go into that little bit of an animation, and there he goes. So that was Xenia 2, way faster than Xenia 1. And that's because we had the pop this time. So that's why you want it on certain bosses. Alright guys, that was my tutorial on how to speedrun the New Game Plus category of this game. If you liked what you saw, or you want to get into the speedrunning, I will leave my Discord, my personal Discord, down in the description. I will leave the Akiba's Trip fan Discord that we have. It's got speedruns, it's got modding, it's got artwork. There's a ton of channels, and it is pretty active for only having 65 of us in there. So I would love to see more people come in and speedrun this game and hang out with us in the chat. It would mean the world. So let me know in the comment section if you're going to plan on picking up this game and starting to speedrun. I'll help as much as possible. This has been Heartless. Thank you guys for watching.